with kindness and love on every side. Vulnerable hearts will defend and protect, connecting the dots with respect. We come in peace, bringing hope and cheer. Positivity conquers every fear. Together we'll rise, strength anew. In unity, we'll see this through. Our song a beacon in the troubled times, guiding souls with melodies and rhymes. Hand in hand we join the dance, giving everyone a second chance. We come in peace, bringing hope and cheer. Positivity conquers every fear. Conquers together we'll rise, strength anew. In unity, we'll see this through. We come in peace, bringing hope and cheer. Positively conquers every fear. Together we'll rise with strength anew. In unity, we'll see this through. We come in peace, bringing hope and cheer. Positivity conquers every fear. Conquers together we'll rise with strength anew. In unity, we'll see this through. Unity, we'll see this through. In unity, we'll see this through.
Wow, 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 wow. Hello, guys. Hello, guys. Oh my God. My head, my screen, my green screen is not working today. Well, we've got to manage it like that, guys. So, welcome to the show, everyone. Thank you for joining the show. And, well, what can we do? The show must go on. So, and let me see who are in the house. Yep, I can see the picture thing. Welcome to the show. Thank you for joining the show. And Sonia Adventure, my darling sister, thank you for joining the show. And Finley Gotev. What a funny name. Welcome to the show. Thank you guys for joining the show. Well, I hope I am audible enough. If I am audible enough, please just type there and let me know that I am audible enough. Then we can proceed with today's show. I don't really know what really happened today. It's been a little bit, one of my, this thing is broken, but all the same, it doesn't matter. So we go ahead. So, well, big idea, this is just a reaction video. It's based on what that is obtainable there. And we have to get on board. So please type something if you hearing me loud and clear, if I am audible enough, so that we proceed from there. Yes. Hello, Michael. Welcome from Nottingham. Thank you for joining the show. Thank you very much, Michael. Thank you. Thank you for joining the show. So, and am I audible enough? Just type yes. Then we keep going. Don't mind about my cap. I think, well, my green screen to pull it out here today, it's going to be something else. So, we'll make do with what we have in the house. Well, let's get it started. So this is just a reaction video. And while your host today is Victoria, and from VicoReal_space. That's the name of my channel. And here we do reaction video. We do a sort of entertainment and a lifestyle, vlogging, and all that stuff. Just what that is obtainable, and it's good for everybody. Oh, thank you for subscribing. Thank you. I appreciate it, Michael. Thank you very much. So now today's episode, it's primarily about P. Diddy, Sean Combs. So the aspect that we have to talk about here, it's about how women could become objects to some certain degree, that even whatever you need, you want to further your career, it has to be in exchange for something. And that is not very pleasing, but we try to contend it, we try to evaluate it, we try to see why it has gone this bad over the years, why it has gone this wrong, because most people probably hadn't any knowledge that things like this were going underground there. Though there were loads and loads of rumors about this very guy, there were loads of rumors about him, but people didn't actually really understand, at what extent that it was. Hello, Suyemi, welcome to the chat. Thank you, thank you. So people didn't just understand the scope of things, that it was really, really bad. And it goes about controlling somebody living under submission just because you want to advance your career. And this has spilled out many times in many countries, in many places, be it in politics, be it in a public sector, be it in ministries, or just name it in if you want to become a star and all that, Hollywood and all that, if you have to break through, then it's like your body becomes an object of control. But then it's not that all the men are doing that. No, it's not all the men that are doing that. But some people probably that has some psychological problem, because without that, I don't know why they should be able to penetrate into this far, into these women. And they forget, number one, that they are mothers too, are women too. They have sisters. They also have daughters. Just like P. Diddy now, even the daughters were in the court. By the time they brought out those evidence from Cassie Ventura, how a father could kick and held the hair of a young lady, dragging her along the corridors in a hotel, even when he knows that there are cameras everywhere. And those cameras were bound to capture it. Anyway, for him, he was above the law. In a way, he was even given the key of the city of New York by Adams, the mayor of New York. So for him, he feels he can do anything and get away, pay his way out. He's always been doing that, allegedly, let's put it that way, buying his way out and doing so many things that he will go unpunished. So that this very one, I don't know why the Cassie stayed so long for this relationship, but as the event evolved right now, she's been able to say her mind that when you try to get out, because while going for this freak up party, he gets them highly on all the substances, allegedly, and with that, just a click of command, do this, and you're doing everything without even knowing. And he is videoing everything. He makes video of everything. So by the time you said you want to get out of it, and he said, I'm going to send it out to the media, and your career will be over. So most of them continue under that duress. They continue because of the threats, because of, cutting off their careers and all that stuff. But at the same time, it's not only women. We also now come to understand that there were also men involved, young boys, young men. Even names like Osha was mentioned. Even name like Bieber was mentioned. Even 50 Cent, just name it. Allegedly, because it's only when they come out from their own words to confirm, though they gave some interviews confirming that. It's only when they come out that we can know. Even Rihanna mentioned so many people, just just. So we get to understand these things, that this world, this artist world, to become a star in America, it involves a lot. It involves a lot underground. You have to do a lot of working underground There's so many things, so many barriers that you will have to cross that most people will not even know. They will think it's so easy. Oh, the American dream. Oh, she's got the American dream. Oh, she succeeded with the American dream. But dreams are not always true. It comes with penalties, it comes with sacrifices. So, this is what we have seen in this case. But I'm going to play a short clip from now for you guys to have a look at exactly what happened. But be mindful, this is just at your own discretion, because what we see here, in fact, I don't want to play something longer, just a little bit of it for somebody, for you guys to be able to, to draw lines and see exactly whether this is normal. So that's why I made just this short clip just for viewers' attention. So guys, so now I play this clip now, and let's see how it goes. I put myself here and I play the clip now. So this is a very disturbing, very extremely disturbing footage that I saw there, but I try not to play it longer because it's a very long one, repeated even when the hotel security came over. Before the hotel security, he was still going after her, pulling her, taking her hair, pulling her. Imagine a woman with your hair pulling you. And it's so cruel to imagine. And yet they said before you could succeed in America as an artist, a musical artist, you have to go through him. So we can imagine all the artists, the successful artists, what they have gone through in the hand of this guy. Because it wasn't only with women, also with young boys, also with young boys. So this freak up party, took a lot from these guys that went and thought they landed a contract, because it's like he gave him a contract, but that contract that he gives to them, probably they don't even know, that they were not even aware that they were going to be these freak up parties. And when you mean freak up party, you just have to appear. And sometimes he stays there. They want this very one, this Cassie Ventura, and they were going on the red carpets, always smiling like a couple, but behind, loads of things were happening. And you guys can imagine him pulling that hair. So you can imagine this is just a corridor. Then how much more inside the room or inside his mansion or somewhere else? This is in a corridor of a hotel in which he knows very well that cameras are positioned everywhere. And they were watching. That's probably how the chief security by then came up, and she tried to call, took her phone from her, everything. So it's extremely inhuman. I just saw this and I've been watching, but I tried not to get too close to this because, the story tells a lot about this American dream. It tells a lot, that there is a lot underneath, there is a lot behind that we may not even be aware, that we just think, it's so easy in America, but probably not so easy. Loads and loads of things go on unabated. And people like this, for him, he was very feared, afraid of him. Even there's still some witness that are under protection because they're afraid if they come out. If he comes out, he's going to deal with them. So most things dies down just the way it is. And why did she remain in this sort of a relationship? She was already, as I heard, she was even married and even had two kids. Had two kids. for the husband. Anyway, he's gone back now to the husband. So at the point, I start to wonder, is it that the husband didn't know that she was going out with this guy? Because if they said they had a relationship for 10 years, and she was also married from 2000 and, is it 2011 or 10? Then how come, or was it an open marriage? Sort of, because I tried to wonder, because they even had 2 kids, and now the third on the way. And that's why when she came and he saw the bulky stomach, then he'd get so nervous trying to pass a note to his lawyers to block her from coming in first before the jury, because the jury might look at her situation and might have pity for her on that level. But then she's not even the only one. There are other ones too that are still going to come up. There are other ones. And this is just a part of the trial, because this one, he laid his hand on her, pulled her, kicked her. So this is even another one, because for his lawyers, it's like she wants money, or all the people that are coming out now because they want money from him. But this very tape, he wasn't prepared for it. So when they played out that video, he was shocked, and it was almost like he needed to go to the VC, like a child that needed a diaper to be changed. Probably he was even wet and needed a diaper. That's why he wanted to go ease himself. So you can imagine, yes, Osuyemi, yes, because he's a gangster. He's the biggest gangster in the musical world there. Because people kept believing on him that once you get to him, you have the contract. Man, you are there. You are becoming a star straight. You are walking the rope of stardom. But little did we know that so many things were underneath, so many things were going on. And now, with what is really happening here now, this was even 216. This very video was made 216, she kept it. And of course, the hotel will always keep it too. And this is not the first time he's been beating up women in the hotels when he invites them. Because when he asks you do this and you refuse, the next thing is hitting. You guys can see how he hit the hitter along the corridor. Not just hitting, and pulling somebody with the hair. Using your bare hand to hold the long hair and pull. I mean, I can't even imagine the headache she will have the whole night when she gets back home. That's if he had even allowed her to go, because he wouldn't even allow her to go. He keep using that trait that he has video while she was on the freak up. And she sat down, and at one instant sat down and invited a striptee, a male striptee, to get on with her, and recorded it. And yet you called her your girlfriend. And yet you have to do it. If you don't do it, your career is over. I'm going to push it out to the media, because it's like he controlled everything there. It was like it was like the king of New York. Well, he had the key to New York, in which Adam gave him. I saw that ceremony. So we just saw so much better. I don't know why she didn't leave sooner. Yes, that's the question they keep asking her. Why didn't she leave sooner? And she said, because he had recorded her encounter while having this freak up. And that freak up, once they give you that thing you lick or you smoke, you are at their command. You just open everywhere up for them, and they do what they want to do. And he was recording all of them, all of them. All the artists that went through him, they went through that process. That's what we came to understand. And he recorded them. So for you to think of going out, almost impossible, because he'll tell you, hey, I'm going to send it out. And you are over, your career is over. But some people would have just said, hell, okay, send it out, I'm gone. But the only thing is that the contract you don't have, you won't have. Then your image too is gone forever. So probably most people, they suffered a lot to go through this. They suffered over the years. And how to even escape him? You can't even escape him. My God. You can't even escape him. It's like, because the girl, Cassie, was trying to go away. But he refused. He blocked him. He blocked her. That's why he came out, even with his towel. Even with his story, I think she was trying to sneak out gently, gently, because people saw the first photo, she was trying to wear her shoes on the corridor. So that means he didn't wear the shoe in the room. Probably he was in the toilet, also in the VC. Then he sneak out with the clothing, with the bag and the shoes. And when she came out to the corridor and tried to put on the shoe, and then he catch up with her. So this is exactly what that did happen. So I think the guy is not normal. He's not a normal. He's worse than what we even think, because more evidence now that the case has officially been opened. So most evidence will now come up, and the lawyer said no, because he's a celebrity, and it's celebrity status, and he's what should you say? His celebrity status is different from who he is. He's not that greedy person. It's because all the girls or all the men, boys that will come out, because they're going to line up. It's many, not only the girls and the boys too. Any person that ever wanted to succeed in the music world, they believe once you get to him, your doors are open. And then you get to him, it's like you are in hellfire. It's like the drama has just begun. So, guys, let me play a second tape here while in the court too, and there's some analysis from some analysis from some journalists too that actually attended the court session too.
His daughters got up and left the courtroom during the testimony.
At one point, Diddy's daughters actually had to get up and leave the courtroom, and I don't blame them.
I don't blame them either, Lauren Conlon. Straight out to special guest joining us, Rob Shooter, host of Naughty But Nice podcast, former publicist of Sean Combs. You ought to write a book about that, but you're already the author of The Four-Word Answer. Rob Shooter, thank you for being with us. We're talking about what the prosecutor said in the beginning of the case. Now, of course, Cassie Ventura has been on the stand all day, but Rob Shooter, the prosecutor, Emily Johnson, stated that there were two Sean Combs. The one that beats people, leaving knots on their heads, dragging them up and down halls, just performing all sorts of demeaning and humiliating acts on the women. But then there's the other Sean Combs, the star, the celebrity, who's charming and gregarious. Did you see both sides of Combs when you worked for him as a public relations person?
Yeah, Diddy's a very, very complicated person. He's very much in control. He controls his own narrative. He determines how he wants to be presented. He determines what photographs he wants released of him. And so this is a celebrity who's very aware of manipulating his public image. He's done a really, really good job of convincing us that he is somebody that now we know isn't the truth. And so I think with Diddy, we all see one side of him for over, 2 decades now. We think we know Diddy. He's that fun guy. Look at him partying. He's out. He throws great events. He's funny. We've seen him on talk shows where he's been witty and charming. Now we know that isn't the truth. That Diddy behind the scenes, the truth about Diddy is much, much more dark.
I'm going to circle back.
Well, so this is one of his publicists, ex-publicist, had to say about him. Hey, Check Chioma, welcome to the house. Thank you. Thank you for joining the show. Thank you. You're welcome. Thank you. So this is one of his publicists, explaining who he worked for. At least it's somebody that he had contact with, that everything media about him, he wanted to see. Even the photograph that you have to use for that, to cover that story, even for everything about it, the notes and all that. He wanted to be in control of everything. So he's a control freak, number one. And then number two, he's not a good fellow. Because if you can treat a woman like this, and he has daughters, can you imagine what they said, that the daughters were there, and when they heard that, they saw that video, that Papa was kicking a young lady. And they stood up and walked away. What a shame. How can this be? How could this be in today's modern society? He has so much. And yet, why do you treat women like trash? Or why do you treat people that come to you for help? And he's been so lucky that the law hasn't catch up with him because he's always been there, allegedly able to buy his way out, get the best lawyers that will set him free, that will quote all the laws that are not in this land to set him free. But for some people that went to him on the platform of, I'm looking for an American dream, they end up going back devastated, devastated completely, because it's like having a one-way ticket, and the return ticket, you keep waiting. When will it come for you to get out? The stardom, it hasn't taken you there. And he's making you go through a lot, and whereby you refuse, because he records everything. And some people go there naive without knowing that he's being recorded, that they're being recorded. And by the time you said, man, this is not what I thought it was, I want to get out of it, and he said, you can't get out of it. Why can't I get out of it? Then he tells you, I have all the footages of all the Diddism, and I'm going to send it out to the media. Then you wonder, with all his millions, man, how are you going to fight? You're just a beginner. It will be almost impossible to have a good fight with somebody like that, because he has the connection, he has the money, he has everything. And he can actually help you to become a star. But at what price? That's the thing. At what price? The price is higher. It has to take a toll on you. Because this very Cassie, as she explained, I'm still going to play one of the videos here. That at the point, man, it takes like 3-4 days to go for this party and to disintoxicate, to come back to your normal senses. It will take another 3 or 4 days to get better, to do something for yourself. Then I just wonder what is really going on in this world. It's something else. Yes, Jack Choma, he wasn't lucky. He bribed his way, but what goes around will always come around. Yes, that's true. That's true. I think that's the irony. That is exactly what that is awaiting him now, because it's not just Cassie. There are other people lined up to give testimony now, and most of them are under protection because the fear has always been there. It's like a one-way ticket, and to get out, to get back, you're afraid. You don't even know how to get out of it because the threats were just continuous. The threats were, yeah, sorry, I said she could have died. Yeah, it could have, because I mean, to pull your hair, and who knows how many times that has happened, probably even inside the hotel room, this was going on, or in his own houses and all the places that they used to go to. Because when he sets you in and said you have to do it, especially the one that he mentioned about the striptease guy, that they brought the striptease guy. Now the striptease guy wants to give evidence too. I think there were 2 or 3, but one is under protection because some of them are very vulnerable, especially if you've been abused for years. You become vulnerable, you become afraid, you live under fear. Even to get out of it is a problem, and probably, who knows what could have underground happened to the ones that did not comply. We may not know, probably in the future. So, but I think if the law is really, really to take its course, I think most people will be saved from people like this, because these are traits of people that are extremely sick, and because of the amount of wealth they have acquired, they are no more with their senses, because sometimes some money drives people crazy. So I think this is the problem that he has, because as a black man, you've succeeded. You've been lucky enough to succeed in everything you've done up till now. Why don't you give this small opportunity to young coming artists and help them out? It wouldn't take anything from you, but you have to subject them. He subjected them to so many things like slaves, probably even worse than slaves, because it's against their own volunteer. Put them under something and throw out. They do anything that you want until when you guys are over with it, and then the whole thing their memory will start coming back. And within that period, you recorded everything. So we also heard about how this happened with Justin Bieber, and by then Bieber was so small, so small. Well, allegedly. So that's what I see here, allegedly. So Sunny Adventure said yes to stay dropped up for 4 days plus the stress. Yes, plus the stress. And by the time they come out, they are no more themselves. They are no more themselves. Then get out of it too. It's a problem. He won't let you out. He will tell you, I have all your videos. Look at it here. I'm going to send it out. Forceful enslavement, and I don't even know what what I should use for it. That a human being can subject other human beings to this sort of treatment. They thought they landed a contract with a big music promoter, mogul, that their life will be better. But at the end, they go back home devastated. Beatings, everything, kicking. Can you imagine? So Chek Choma said, imagine, apparently she was in love. Yeah, she was in love, probably. And she was also married. That's what I said. Because I had to Google and check, who was this? Was she married? Because they said, oh, she had 2 children. This is the third child. And I noticed that she was even married to one, what was his name? Alex Fine. She was married to Alex Fine. And I said, probably it was an open marriage, because sometimes things like that do happen. You know, some marriages are like that, open marriage, and in which they allow themselves to, to do everything. You do your own, I do my own. But, well, they live in the same roof, they have kids. But at the end, sometimes too, when you check very well, if they do DNA, probably it's not, those kids are not only for the husband, could be for other people too. Because when you're forced to go into this sort of encounter, into this sort of, what should I say, probably sometimes, maybe even the raincoats, they don't even use the raincoats. And you won't even know, because you are under the influence of something. Might not even use raincoats. And at a point, there's one here that she said, when he forced her, yes, she was married, Chek Choma. Married, but when? She was married. I look at the time, she was married 2000 and, was it 11 or so? Because even the last pregnancy now is still of the same guy. It's still of the same guy. So that's why I tried to wonder, could it have been an open relationship? Or the guy said, well, at least my wife is going to become a star, Madonna, and all that. It's about money, because it's not that the husband was doing well. I think the husband is was it a instructor in the gym or something. So it's not that so bad for him. Well, so that's exactly what we saw there. So, but along the line, there's one other episode, what she said, where I don't know if I have the tape. I didn't really want to play it. How they could bring in somebody that he should put it inside the mouth, like Patsy. Trying to force her to swallow it, and she almost got choked. She got choked. And by then, I don't know why she didn't run away from that point. Let me see if I have that clip. Though I'm trying not to bring some clips could be a little bit better. Let me see if we can bring that clip here. Let's see this.
And the fact that maybe the jury could feel sympathy for her. So, yeah, she was brought in first, and then the jury was brought in.
Earlier this morning, just before they broke for lunch, Cassie Ventura described how Freakoffs actually became a job, lasting 36 to 48 hours, the longest one lasting up to 4 days. No wonder the participants needed IV fluids after a Freakoff. I'm just curious, to Lauren Collins joining us at the courthouse, how was the jury responding?
What I will say is Cassie made a point to say that when she wasn't making music, she was actually having to, quote, recover from these freak-offs. And again, she did say these freak-offs lasted between 1 and 4 days, and it would take her an equal amount of time to get her body recovered, to rehydrate, to rest, to detox from these drugs. It was really, really sad to listen to.
Joining us, an all-star panel to make sense.
Okay. Okay, Chek Choma. Yes, that's true. That's true. 219. Because I was trying to look at it. I said 2011 or 219. When was this? and she had this encounter with 2016, 2016. This very tape in the hotel room was in 2016. Probably she wasn't married by then, but now. But then the first child, the second child, so 2019, and we are in 2025 because this is apparently the third pregnancy. And when was Diddy taken into custody? I think it was last year. So all that was just trying to imagine to recalculate then the ages of the children too, because in one this thing that I checked, the first one was it 5 or 6 years or 7 years? So I was wondering in between then how come a lot of discrepancies here. So that's exactly what happened. Yeah, 2000. She married in 2019, I guess, after Diddy. She has two children. Yes, with this one. This must be after Diddy. Yes, it's possible. Yeah, it's possible. It's possible. It's possible. That's what I thought. So you can see from this last video now here that even when they forced her to drink orally, that she almost got choked. You can imagine, man, anything could happen. Sickness or what have you could have contacted something just through this encounter, just because you want to become a star. Oh my God. And even at a point, she even had the same problem. It was in a hotel, and even her mother arrived, and she even tried to assure the mother, oh, nothing, no problem. But then there was a serious problem. There was also not really a fight because she doesn't even fight back. He's the one fighting, kicking her. He's the one beating. It's like all the girls, all the people that he deals with, nobody stretches a returned hand. He gives you a slap, nobody returns the hand, the slap to him. Nobody. They just keep taking it. That's submission. He brings them under total submission. Yes, she was with him from age 21 years. So you guys can imagine that for 10 years. Is it 10 years? For 10 years. So that's a lot. I think she's from age 21. Then she should be 20, 30. She's 32 now. No, the, the figures are a little bit complicated because now they say she's 32. So I keep wondering, when was she married then? If she was with him for 10 years. And then she was 21, and now she's like, is it 32 or 30, 31 or 32? So a little bit of it, but anyway, it doesn't matter. We only know that he abused her heavily. He abused her in every sense of the word. He degraded her womanhood, and that means everything against a woman. And thank God he has kids, he has girls, and they were there. And when they saw that video, they heard that. They said, the kids say, walk out, girls. They walk out of the hotel, out of the courtroom, because it's for them. It's like they could not understand, or they never understand that this is how their father is, or he was also treating their mothers like that. But somebody like this is like somebody that doesn't really get married. They have baby mamas, because after all, he gives you the money and you take care of the baby. And I think with the baby mamas, they'll be very, very careful not to go after him, not to pursue him. We want this, we'll take you to the court, because this is somebody very feared that people are scared of because of his history. People are extremely scared of him because he can buy his way. He has the money. He can take on the best lawyers at any time. He can pay the hotel. If he knew that that video was there, I'm sure he could have paid the hotel to get it out. I remember the one instance in one hotel too that they said he fought with the people working in the hotel. He fought with them physically, and they thought it was going to be a big case. But at the end of the day, probably he used money to close it or pay the people off, and everybody went silent. So he's a guy, he seems to be a guy that has been so used to going scot-free in every bad thing that he does. So for him, even with this one, his lawyers still believe, yes, as the business mogul, he's the best. But like what he said, because the journalist here asked, then he said that the girls, the people, not just the girls and the boys too, they were willing participants. Okay, and because she wanted money. And likewise, the ones that will come because they want money. That is it. So Sona said, yes, she was with him for 21 from age 21. Yes, imagine his mother being there. Yeah, I'm just imagining. I mean, it's a shame. It's a complete shame. And all the people you're doing this to, most of them are people of your own race. So if you have been blessed in this race, in our own race, that we have always find things very difficult to excel in life. And now we meet you as somebody from our own race in this position. I think you should be able to help more, develop more of the people from your own race and let them become somebody. Let even some of them even get richer than you. After all, you've had enough. He has enough. So he's the lucky guy. He's a lucky guy, but to get you to succeed, he wants to subject you to things that don't even exist. It's like forcing you to do what that you shouldn't even do just because he wants to help you. So it's not really help. It's like a trade by barter. You give me this and I give you that. But even then, he gives them contract. So that contract does not bring in all these small stories, all these small things. These were extras. So, but once you get into it, you are my property. You have contract with me, and you've got to obey. So it's like bringing them under total submission. And this is where the problem is, because you cannot even go out. You want to go out, you cannot even go out. He's going to blackmail you. Use the videos. So most of them just went with one blind eye. Hey, I'm going to become a star once I meet him. He's the biggest music mogul in the world. He has all the connections. So I know many people will go. Many will go. It's like an opportunity of a lifetime. The American dream. Just call it the American dream. Yes. So picture thing said, money, famous, and attractive is not always a good combination. Yeah, that's true. That's where it happens. You can't combine all of them together. One has to, one has to complement the other side. So, but in this case, it happens. What can you do? The girl already, she was also a, what should I say? She was a model. She was a model. So she had opportunities to do other things. But I tell you, even if she wanted to go to Hollywood too, to act too, it will still be the same thing. She will still meet the same people that want to take advantage of her. We have seen the Einstein on, what was his name there? We have seen that one. We have seen Epstein. We have seen the other one. What's his name again? That later on had stroke working on, what was his name there? We've seen so many of them. So anything you ever want from America, from Hollywood, the American dream, you're a lady, you have to pay with your body. This is something else. This is something else, honestly. So check Choma said, just checked and a case. Okay, let me remove this. Just checked and Cassie is 38 years. Okay, to be 39 this year. Wow. She spent a long time with this monster. You see, and she couldn't get out. Then she didn't. He couldn't. Cassie. Then he did not even make her become a star, a music star. She didn't get what she went there for and wasted a whole 10 years for nothing, waiting to become somebody, to become a star. And getting out too was still a problem. He couldn't get out. He couldn't get what she wanted. And yet was subjected to all these stuffs every other day, every other week that there was that party. She has to come in. She has to bring in some other girls. They have to take a chartered flight to the locations choose for that very week and get drunk the whole time. And after that, to disintoxicate again. Man, she's even lucky to come out because probably there's some of them that didn't come out. There's some of them, and nobody will know. Nobody will know because he can arrange everything. Allegedly he can arrange everything. That's what we see here. But well, time will tell. We will see whether he will continue to. We'll see how good his defense is with all this evidence that are on ground that are everywhere. because there's nothing like having an open evidence like this. What is he going to tell the jury or the court or the whole world? That you're pulling a lady by the hair and you're kicking her. And he's had so many, and so many of them are ready to come out. I think why they are ready to come out, because they know he's inside. If he was outside, man, they will be scared, extremely scared. But even then, even while he's inside, people like this, they can still be inside and still have an influence outside too. So there are people to somebody that people should really, really be careful. You know, it's a we pray we don't run into into people like this, because it's not really easy. Let me see. Do I have another clip here to play for you guys again? Because I try not to go too deep on
Sean Combs' $10 million defense team did was demand that she be seated in the witness seat before the jury came in so they could not see her baby belly. What happened?
Well, they had been discussing this previously about how pregnant she looked and the fact that maybe the jury could feel sympathy for her. So, yeah, she was brought in first and then the jury was brought in.
You know, earlier this morning, just before they broke for lunch, Cassie Ventura described how free-offs actually became a job, lasting 36 to 48 hours, the longest one lasting up to 4 days. No wonder the participants needed IV fluids after a freak-off. I'm just curious, to Lauren Cullen joining us at the courthouse, how was the jury responding?
What I will say is Cassie made a point to say that when she wasn't making music, she was actually having to, quote, recover from these freak offs. And again, she did say these freak offs lasted between 1 and 4 days, and it would take her an equal amount of time to get her body recovered, to rehydrate, to rest, to detox from these drugs. It was really, really sad to listen to.
Joining us, an all-star panel to make sense.
Okay, Osuyemi, my mic, is it echoing now? Maybe because of this. Is it okay now? The mic. Is it okay now? Osuyemi. Okay. So you guys can see that it was like a job, but not the contract about developing her musically. Yeah, it wasn't the contract about developing her musically. So another form of contract came. Well, it's like it may probably, who knows? Maybe the terms were not even outlined in the contract. It was just contract to work with me or what have you. So that entails every type of work could have been, assumed. It's like, you are my property. You have signed contract with me and you have to carry on as long as I want, whatever that I want. So we saw that the video was echoing slightly. Okay, I understand. The video was echoing. Yes, that's true. So because she was in the courtroom and the other journalist was in the studio, so I think that's where the communication line, was shaking. Then from this side to a little bit of that. So it's like most of them probably didn't understand what this contract was, because for them, contract is contract. Hey, it's going to take me to the next level, and they didn't even question it, because for them they just wanted that contract from Diddy, and that's it. And they thought that was their ticket to success. But at the end of the day, up till now, I haven't heard any of her music. So he never really helped him. He never really helped her in any way. Never really developed her musically. Nothing. So I think he probably took her just for the freak up. The freak up was the only thing that he took her for, and nothing more. It wasn't about developing her, because if it was about developing her musically, then by now at least you would have seen some traces, or probably thought, oh, if I do this for this girl, I give it, then she wouldn't be coming. And he used to ask her to bring girls, and the girls come, said, party, oh, we're going for a party, not knowing that when they get there, they dose all of them up, and they do everything that they wanted, imagine, even in the mouth, and they'll go back home. Some can even be sick, and from there something worse happened, nobody will know. Nobody, because they were not in their senses when they were dragged into this. So I think she would have, the Cassie would have really, really suffered a lot to have spent 10 years, 10 clear years of her life with him. And probably there was no exit plan for him. There was no exit route. It was just a one-way ticket until he got inside, until he fell into the net. Then she could, breathe again. So I think this is what that happened there. Yes. So Sonia said, I think she got 20 million into housing. Yes, Alan, she has money too. She has her own property too. But then he was also paying her. But even then, with this one, I think probably they'll ask for, some sort of compensation. I think the way it's going is going to ask for some sort of compensation. But even then, is he going to come out? Because there's so many evidence, there's so many people right now that are prepared to come out. Before, people were afraid to come out. But now that they all know that the chances for him to come out is almost 0% or 1% out of 100%. So now many of them are ready to come out. There are other women, there are other men. Most of them now, they would have been married. And some of them, when they are married, they're afraid to come out and put their lives in the public, telling their stories, how they went through this, because it's dehumanizing. Because when you take the aspect of the contact that they had and the encounters with the people that they were bringing for the free cup and all that, and this in the mouth and this, man. And then people will look at you and say, "Huh?" It's like, is this what you're going for? So, Check Choma said 20M is very little for all she went through. Yes, for 10 years. And he has millions. Check Choma, I think he's a billionaire. I think he's a billionaire. I think he's worth up to 1 or 2 billion or so, if not 900 million. It could be around that region. So 20 million is just like somebody has a 1,000 and give you a 20 naira, the 1,000 euro, and give you just 20 euro. So it's too small. Supposed to have something, supposed to give her something bigger, because for 10 years of her life, her youthful life, then she just go without nothing. Then it's 20 is almost nothing. It's almost nothing. Psychologically, she must be very strong to have survived all those years, and because without that, and for her now to come back, get married, and have a child number 3, then she's even lucky. But I think sometimes if she remembers, her brain will will get shocked that all this happened, because she doesn't even have the videos that he made of her going through all this stuff. But they said they found lots of videos by then when they searched his house. You guys remember when they went to his house in New York? They went to his house in is it Las Vegas and Miami and all that stuff. So they picked up quite a lot of videos that he had made of those girls, the boys, and they contacted them, but most of them were still very scared to come out because of who they have in front. They know who they have in front. He's not a good guy. He's a smooth operator. He can do anything. So they were afraid, but I think few of them might come out now because he is inside, well locked up inside. I think that's why few of them will come out. At least to, because with what the police discovered in his house, all the evidences they took, and that's why they took him in, because the evidence was overwhelming when they played everything out. Man, you do all these things and you're recording people and you're keeping it. It was just, and from most of the hotels that it was fighting, even fighting the hotel staffs and wounding one, I remembered, and they said, well, he settled it out of court and they would have paid maybe who knows how many million they paid. Hello, Shelly. Welcome to the house. Thank you for joining the house. Okay, Check Choma said Diddy, as of 2019, had a net worth of 875 million US. So you can imagine that. So now it depends on the investment he would have used it for. It can even get to 1 million, 1 billion, 1.1, 1.2. No, he has something up there. He has something. So for him to come and give her a paltry 20M is nothing. It's paltry. 20M. What's 20M going to do with all that suffering for 10 years? All what she went through psychologically for 10 years. It's a 20M is like a 1,000 pounds to 20 pounds. What is that for? For 20 years, and you pay me just that? I think he deserves to have more. She deserves to have more. Yes, so Shelly, how are you? Longest time. Shelly, I've been monetized. I know you helped me too playing my videos. Thank you, Shelly. So fully monetized now. So now we've got to get to work. I've got to get to work. Sometimes I want to come into this sort of content instead of the village shenanigans all the time. This helps. It broadens our mind. We get to see the other part of life, how it is, the American dream, and the people that really believe in this American dream better. Well, sometimes dreams come true better. You just have to be able to watch your steps, and they know exactly how to tiptoe and ask questions before going into some certain agreements or contracts. Ask somebody else to read the contract again for you to be able to understand, is this all what that is in this paper? That is this the final contract? Or anyway, check Choma, you know that. I think I'll invite you. I'll invite you on the screen to give some legal advices about things like this. There must always be the final concept of a contract that will really define what you really going into, so that if other things crop up and you can say, no, but this wasn't inside this contract. This is not what I signed. Because I think for Diddy comes, they probably just gave them a blank contract, just sign here, oh, you have a contract here, and they're happy. They were happy. They go in without knowing what they were going into with it. It happens. What can man do? It's a part of life. It's part of a game. Trying to develop yourself, trying to push yourself, and sometimes people run into wrong hands. But then it's like knowing when to get out. But the only thing that he has done very bad with them is like controlling them, manipulating them, and using the videos that he made of them at their lowest point, in which he put them into that lowest point through drugging them and all that. And the same period too, make videos of them. And you will go on to use that to tell them, if you want to go, here is it. I'm going to put it out in the media. Your career will be over. Your personality will be over. So I think he used that to control them, because I'm pretty sure that most people would have wanted to get out of it. Most people would have wanted to get out of it. But they get choked up. It's like a one-way ticket and no return. So when you think about return, then you have to reflect, because once he puts out everything to you, here it is. The choice is yours. You want to get out, and me too, this is what I'm going to do. And you really wonder whether that contract really sold you what's like a contract of selling a goat or what. I don't understand. Whether you sold yourself to him through that contract. It's alarming. It's alarming. So check. Sonia said, check who to tell he's rich. Yeah. That's it, but what can we do? C'est la vie. That's life. That's life, and life goes on. I think this was. Let me see. Did I record something else? No, because I tried not to. Some scenes were a little bit not really my way. I could feel it in my brain when I said forcing her, and he almost got choked with the flute that they forced into her. Almost got choked. I mean, you can imagine that. You can imagine. I can't even imagine it. So when I wanted to record that, to put it. I said, no. Let me get out of here. I didn't even try to watch it to the end. It was as bad as what you can imagine. It's man. It's sad. It's sad. So Jack said, Sonia, did I hear somewhere that allegedly he was their informer, and that's why he was so bold in doing what he did. Yeah, the possibility is there, because if not, why would you ever think of doing something like this and not about even the consequences, not even thinking about the consequences? He had no thought that there could ever be any consequence against him, because for him, he was untouchable. He was untouchable. He could buy everything. He could buy his way. He has a key to New York that was given to him in a ceremony. When was it? Was it December 2019 or when, or something like that? I think it was immediately he got that key to New York. Then these problems started that he has today. I think immediately he got that. And before then, he's always been this small situation problems. And after some times, it will die down completely. So that means there must have been something. We don't know, allegedly. Allegedly, until proven. We don't know. So we just leave it like that. Anyway, guys, thank you guys for coming, for joining the show. So from now on, once in a while, we bring some small shows like this, some small talk, and we chat and analyze, and we see where it will take us to. Thank you for joining the show, Sonia. Thank you very much, Shelley Innovative, and thank you, Check Choma. Thank you, Picture Thinker. Thank you, Finley Goat. Thank you, Michael. Thank you. He said he's just subscribed. He's from the UK. Oh, I found out. I'll check who is that from the UK. Thank you guys for joining the show. So we see you again in the next. Bye-bye, guys. Love you guys. Bye. So, Victoria out.
Intelligent reactors light the way at night, bringing love to shadows, making everything right. One more chance to lift the fragile high. With open hearts we touch the sky.
Ozongo Pebbles.
We
Hello.
come in peace, bringing hope and cheer positively. Conquers every fear, together we'll rise with strength anew. In unity, we'll see this through. We come in peace, bringing hope and cheer. Positively conquers every fear. Together we'll rise with strength anew. In unity, we'll see this through. In the community, we spread the vibe with kindness and love on every side. Vulnerable hearts will defend and protect, connecting the dots with respect. We come in peace, bringing hope and cheer. Positively conquers every fear. Together we'll rise with strength anew. In unity, we'll see this through. Our song a beacon in the troubled times, guiding souls with melodies and rhymes. Hand in hand we join the dance, giving everyone a second chance. We come in peace, bringing hope and cheer. Positively conquers every fear. Conquers together we'll rise with strength anew. In unity, we'll see this through. We come in peace, bringing hope and cheer. Positively conquers every fear. Together we'll rise with strength anew. In unity, we'll see this